Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fill out a W-9. You may need to fill this out if you own a business or you're a freelancer and the company that you're working for asks you to fill this out. They may ask you to fill it out before they pay you, or they may ask you to fill this out the following year when they're filing their 1099s. So the purpose of this form is so it can help them determine if they need to issue you a 1099 at year end. They may send it to you with their name and address already in this box that says requester's name and address. This is an optional box, so if they don't send it to you with this filled in, then I would recommend leaving that blank. And the reason I say that is because if it's blank, you can fill this form out and save it on your computer, and then anytime a customer asks you for it, you'll already have it ready to go, and it'll be a very general form without a specific person's name on it, without a specific requester name, and you can use it several times. So let's just go through this line by line. On the first line, you're going to put your name as it's shown on your tax return. So that means if you're a sole proprietor or you have a single member LLC, more than likely you're going to file a Form 1040 and your business income is going to go on the Schedule C. So technically your name is your first and last name as you would put it on the first page of that Form 1040. And then if you have a business name also, then that would go here on line 2. But if you're a freelancer and you don't have an official business name, then it would just be your first and last name on line 1. And then another situation is if you have some other form of business like a corporation or a partnership or something to that effect, then you would put your business name on line 1 because that's what you put on your tax return. If you have a corporation, you're filing a corporate tax return and your corporate name is going to go on the tax return. So you want to match whatever's on the tax return. And then if you have a doing business as name, some companies have an official legal name and then they also have a doing business as name that the general public knows them by. So if you do, your doing business as name would go on line 2. So it's going to vary by company just depending on your situation and how you file your tax return. And then the next part, a lot of people skip this. I see this a lot when I'm filing 1099s and I'm collecting W-9s. A lot of people won't check anything in these boxes. And this part is really important because it helps the company determine if they even need to issue you a 1099. For example, if you're a corporation, they may not need to issue you a 1099. So you definitely want to check whatever box you have here. So for the most part, you're probably going to be in one of these boxes here on this first row. If you are an LLC, if you're a single member LLC, you would check this box up here where it says that. But if you are a corporate or partnership LLC, you would check this box and then you would put the letter here of whichever one you were, whatever your classification was. And then if you don't fit in any of these boxes, for example, if you're a nonprofit, you would check this last box that says other and put what that is here. So hopefully that helps in this section. More than likely you don't have an exemption, but if you do for some reason, that would be in the instructions. You would probably know if you were affected by this. If not, you can ask your CPA. So, but more than likely, most people watching this video are probably going to leave this section blank. And then down here, lines 5 and 6, you would want to put your street address and your city, state, and zip. This is mainly so that the vendor or the client knows where to send your 1099. They may be emailing it to you, but it's also good to have a copy that they can mail to you if needed. So you definitely want to put something here. You can put a P.O. box if you need to. And then the account numbers, that would probably not be likely unless the vendor or the client gave you an account number. So this would be a vendor or client account number, not your own account number. So more than likely, you're not going to put anything here on line 7. Okay, and then down here, your taxpayer identification number, more than likely you would put an EIN if you had one. If you're a sole proprietor, you would put your single member or you would put your social security number here if you don't have an EIN and you're a sole proprietor. And then there is a special rule about single member LLCs. You would put your social security number if you're a single member LLC, and as the owner, you have a social security number. You are not supposed to put a single member LLC EIN on this form because it's considered a disregarded entity through the IRS. And that's probably a whole other video on itself. But more than likely, you would be putting your federal EIN in here that you got through the IRS. And then in some cases, you may put your social security number. You don't want to put both because that's just going to confuse the person who's filing the 1099. You would do either or. And there are some more instructions. If you're not sure, you can just find that in the instructions and read a little bit more about that. Okay, and then once you're done filling, I usually type it in. You can print this form and handwrite it if you want. I usually type my information in because that way whoever is reading this can see it, can understand it, and they're not having to decipher my handwriting. I have definitely filed 1099s many times and could not read the W-9. So please type this form if you can. So I usually type it and then I print it and then I hand write a signature and a date down here in part 2. So part 2 is your certification. You want to read this obviously before you sign, but you would just sign and date and then save the form, scan it, and you're ready to go, ready to give this to someone. And that's it. I hope this helps explain this form. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll try to answer the questions if I can. I'm not a CPA, but I know enough about this that I may be able to answer your questions or I may direct you to your CPA. Thank you.